In the case of a reference of right to privacy of adolescents, Supreme Court exercised extraordinary jurisdiction under Article 142 of Constitution of India and held that though the accused stands convicted, he will not undergo sentence. Court directed the state to take following measures in this case: to act as a true guardian of the victim and her child, to provide a better shelter to victim and her family within a period of few months, to bear entire expenditure of education of victim till 10th standard examination, and if she desires to take up education for a degree course till completion of degree course. After she passes 10th examination, state can offer her vocational training at the cost of the state, to bear entire expenditure of education of child up to 10th standard and ensuring she is educated in very good school in vicinity of place of residence of victim, and to endeavor to take assistance of NGOs or public spirited citizens for purpose of securing debts incurred by the victim as a one-time measure. The preliminary report of committee indicated that in 2017 victim met the accused through her neighbor who happened to be sister of accused. At that time ages of them were 13 and 25 years respectively. It is claimed that over a period of time they fell in love, and on 20th May 2018 victim left her home. She married accused at a temple. Within 9 days, on 29th May 2018, victim's mother lodged a police complaint. As a result of registration of FIR, police placed victim in Narendrapur Sanlap home. She was there for a month and thereafter was sent back to her parents. She resumed her education at school and was promoted to 10th class. While she was studying in 10th, she again left her parental home and started living with the accused. Perhaps this period was very crucial in her life as she felt stigmatized and humiliated as recorded in preliminary report. She noticed entire village was discussing her case. Her siblings were taunting her. She was subjected to vigilance of her mother, who accompanied her to school and tuition classes. Victim might have felt compelled to leave her home, said the court. The victim continued to stay with extended family of accused, which consists of parents, uncle, aunts, five brothers, and one sister. In May 2021, victim gave birth to a daughter. After her delivery, she stayed with parents for about 2 weeks and thereafter was went back to the house of the accused. When daughter was 7 months old, police arrested accused. Committee noted that arrest shattered both victim and her daughter. For days, her daughter cried due to absence of father. Committee recorded that daughter remains traumatized due to separation anxiety, as can be seen from report of the committee. 2 year period when accused was in custody was toughest period for victim. She had to run from pillar to post to defend the accused. She spent large amounts by way of payment of fees to lawyers for his release. Family of accused was very poor. At present, victim, the accused and her daughter are staying in a temporary shelter enclosed by brick walls, but the roof is of tarpaulin. House has no door. Accused is uneducated and is working as a daily wage laborer. Facts of this case are an eye opener for everyone. It highlights lacuna in our legal system. Final report concludes that though incident was seen as crime in law, victim did not accept it as one. Committee records that it was not the legal crime that caused any trauma to victim, but rather it was consequences that followed, which took a toll on her. What she had to face as consequence was police, legal system, constant battle to save the accused from punishment. At the same time, she took care of her daughter to the best of her abilities, notwithstanding huge financial burden she carried. What troubles us, said the court, is the issue of sentencing. Reports of committee stare at our faces. Though victim did not treat incident as heinous crime, she suffered because of it. This was because at an earlier stage, victim could not make an informed choice due to shortcomings of her society, her legal system, and her family. In fact, she did not get any opportunity to make informed choice. Society judged her, legal system failed her, and her own family abandoned her. Now she is at stage where she is desperate to save her husband. Now she is emotionally committed to accused and has become possessive of her small family. After reading the reports and having interacted with committee as victim, court was of the view that if we send accused to jail, worst sufferer will be the victim herself. As compared to 2018 situation, she is better placed today. Now she is comfortable with her small family. She along with accused is concentrating on their daughter and they want to ensure she gets quality education. At same time, as recorded in final report, victim is attending school, is desperate to complete her school education. The state has offered to enroll her in some vocational course. She is keen on completing her education, at least up to graduation. In law, Court said we have no option but to sentence the accused and send him to jail for undergoing minimum punishment prescribed by the statute. However, in this case, the society, family of victim and legal system have done enough injustice to the victim. She has been subjected to enough trauma and agony. We do not want to add to injustice done to the victim by sending her husband to jail. We as judges cannot shut our eyes to these harsh realities. Now, at this stage, in order to do real justice to the victim, only option left before us is to ensure accused is not separated from the victim. State and society must ensure that family is rehabilitated till the time family settles down in all respects. Court is bestowed with extraordinary jurisdiction under Article 142 for sole object of ensuring that highest court of land is in a position to do substantial justice in its truest sense. In context of this situation, sadly, true justice lies in not sentencing the accused to undergo imprisonment. This case is not going to be a precedent and should not be a precedent. Case is an illustration of complete failure of our society and our legal system. All that system can do for the victim now is to help her fulfill her desire of completing education, settling down in life, providing better education to her daughter, and ensuring overall better living conditions for her family. Court said that this year we have completed 75 years of constitution on 26th January. Constitution contemplates state to be a welfare state. Constitution guaranteed social and economic justice to all the citizens. In this case, there was failure to provide both social and economic justice to victims. Facts of the case indicate failure of the concept of welfare state. To remedy the situation in this case, it is obligation of state government to act as true guardian of the victim and her child and ensure that settle down in life and lead happy, healthy and constructive life ahead, said the court.